everyone, we're back here at Universal Studios today for what is going to be the biggest Halloween Horror Nights update that we've done so far. There's a ton of new props that have popped up in the scare zones. The front entranceway is starting to take shape with the colors of Jack and Oddfellow, and we actually have a little bit of a sneak peek into what some of the inside of the houses are going to look like. We have a look at some of the facades, some of the actual rooms within the houses themselves, and then some of the masks and some of the designs of the characters that we can expect to see in these houses and scare zones this year. It's going to be a big video, so let's not waste any more time and head inside Universal Studios. As we're coming up on the front entrance of Universal Studios Florida, you can see there's a lot of construction walls that have popped up. They're going to start painting, and you can't see any visible paint changes. I'm sure it's going on more towards the bottom of these blue walls, but they're going to have to move quick because Halloween Horror Nights starts this month. Here's the latest look at what the front entrance is looking like. Starting to look like a carnival. You got the red for Jack the Clown. On the left-hand side, you got the purple for Dr. Oddfellow. Obviously, they've installed the Halloween Horror Nights neon sign since the last time we were here. So it's finally starting to take shape. Just a couple weeks ago, there was a Halloween Horror Nights media event over in the UK, and we got some first looks at a lot of different things that are gonna be coming this year. One of them is what the front entrance is gonna look like for the Infernal Carnival of Nightmares. So let's take a look at that design. You can see that this is gonna complete to make like a decayed circus tent. You can see that there's gonna be a top piece that still has yet to be added. There's a lot of flags and theming that is yet to be added. And then we're gonna have Jack welcoming us in, kind of perched up on the left-hand side over here, and then Oddfellow is gonna be on the right-hand side. And then there's a little bit of a first look at what some of the scare actors are gonna look like in this welcome zone. Probably ones that we can expect to see during the opening scaremonies. I think this looks really, really good. This looks fantastic. We were actually out here on Thursday to film a video that we wanted to put out on Thursday, but we've had some friends in town. Friday was my birthday, so I didn't have a chance to like edit the video in time, and in the process of me trying to finish that video, they've added even more things. So I was like, I'm not gonna put out something that's outdated. So we're back again today just to kind of see what's been added over the last couple of days. Obviously, we saw the front entrance scare zone. There's more. There's a lot of new things that are coming, but Alex isn't with me today. So if you see any clips of like her kind of pieced in here, they're from the other day. There's a lot of people walking through Hollywood right now, which tells me the Bourne show probably just got out. So we're gonna pop over here into Sideshow of Decay, see what's new versus the other day, show you guys some things that maybe we haven't seen just yet. Not noticing much new with this little clown guy. They did add a fog machine directly behind it. So this is obviously gonna pump the fog out, welcoming you into the zone. This is a pretty massive one. This is the first fog machine that I've seen pop up in a scare zone so far. All right, so when we were here on Thursday, there was a lot of this stuff added, but believe it or not, they've added even more in the last 2 days. So some of the things that are new, all these different vines that are just kind of running all along here. These were not here just a couple of days ago. You can see they've added a lot of dirt, like fake dirt, onto the stage. You got some dirt all over the place at the bottom of the barrel right over there. Obviously this booth has something to do with insects because you can see the mantis that's kind of behind there. There's also some cockroaches. So they've added like some more like earthy elements to it just to kind of go along with that insect theme. They obviously added a bunch of like foliage and some decor over here. Looks like we have a baby bottle with some spiders inside. Oh my gosh, that's nasty. But yeah, you can see they've added like a lot of like distressing and like some minor little details over here. We got dirt kind of all over the place on the little handles, along the barrel, just to kind of show it's been sitting around for a while. You'll see this kind of throughout this zone. They have these like clowns, you know, like when you throw the baseball and try to knock down the clowns. This one over here is Lady Luck. So that's a little nod to HHN past. Just across the way, we got some more set pieces. So this was here the other day, but they did add a couple of new things. We got a vulture that's over here on the bottom next to a little axe. He's just hanging out. We got like a little crow, a raven inside of the target over here. And then they have this like ride vehicle that's just popped up. And you can see just how old and like decrepit it is. It's like the ears falling off of this thing. It's all just gross. Like it's just been laying out for years and years. Just an incredible job of distressing this stuff. We have some old like signage in here. Oddfellow's Grand Circus presents the Man Eater. So there's a little nod to Oddfellow. And then we have El Clown right there. And that's obviously Jack the Clown. We got this baby doll head which has like a button over its eye, and it's been attached to like a centipede's body. Oh my gosh. All right, let's see if we can identify what's new versus the other day. A couple of things I'm noticing. We got a little like animal skull that's been added here. We have a little creepy doll that's like mounted up on this cage. I don't know if this cage had bars before. Might not have. So obviously this is gonna be home to some sort of a creature. We have this giant poster. It says, "The great and magnificent magic maker, marvel at the mystery. He speaks to the dead." And then it looks like there's a ticket that's back here. It says Oddfellows Grand Circus. I don't know if there's gonna be any Easter eggs on there. If you could pause the video and just read it and try to figure it out in real time. We got some more set pieces that have been added just over to the left of the stage. They have this giant 35 medallion that of course has a whole bunch of dirt and just grime and nastiness on it. We have a box over here. It says live animals, do not open, live specimen. Oh, there's not an animal inside. Oh, look at that. There's a director. So there's another little nod to HHN history. Just to the left of that stage over there, we have another little set piece that's popped up over here. Backstage access. Looks like some nasty, like old food, decayed food over here. We got a hot dog that's been sitting out forever. It's got all mold on it. A little burger and fries. We have a little cat. I would say a sleeping cat, but I don't know if he's sleeping. He might not be alive anymore, based on the theme of this. We have this little guy, this creature. It kind of looks like a centaur, or whatever that's supposed to be. Some more clown references over here. Another one of those like knockdown clown things like from the carnival games. You got clown shoes, old clown costumes. Got a little seagull that's kind of sitting on the top of this over here. And I guess his name is Philip. There's a little sign that says, "Don't feed Philip." So ladies and gentlemen, there's Philip the seagull. So this is what we were just looking at. I came to the back side of it to see if there was anything on the other side, and I noticed there's a little tiny set piece right in front of the Beverly Wilshire, and this has like all candy on it. Don't really know. I mean, when I see candy at HHN, I think of Major Sweets. Have no idea if that has anything to do with Major Sweets, but there is like this little barrel that's kind of popped up. And it's random because there's nothing else over here and there's nothing else this way. So they just had this like random barrel. Interesting. This was here the other day when we were here, and they have more of these like clowns from those carnival games. And if you're noticing, there's an empty spot right down there. There was one that was like themed to Jaws. It had Bruce the Shark on it. It's no longer there. It was there like 2 days ago. So I'm curious if that's just gone forever or if that'll be popping up again at some point. There's like the cat. Looks like the tribute store facade from a few years ago. So a couple of little things over here. Yeah, but it looks like a little nod to Jaws and Bruce. You got a shark one. This stage over here is what we're gonna call the creepy stage. Obviously they got the creature sign. These are gonna be the home of the creepy creatures. You got these disgusting like doll heads that are all down here. You can see they've added dirt. He must have been with Odysseus on the ship because he's got dirt in his ears. He couldn't hear the the sirens calling the song. So they've added some more details and dirt to the bottom of that stage. The other day when we were here, this thing absolutely creeped the heck out of Alex. Don't know if this is definitely new. It's definitely new to me. They have like a little, looks like a ringleader kind of circus outfit over here. You could see like a shirt. You got the little smushed down top hat on top of this barrel. This barrel's got the original Jack coloring on it right there, all the polka dots. A lot of people say the polka dots, oh, that's Chance. It is Chance, but Chance's outfit was based off of Jack's original costume. So obviously it's a tie to Chance and Jack the Clown. Some more details have been added to this little barrel that's over here. This looks like The Exorcist. So I don't know if that's a definite nod to it, but it certainly looks like The Exorcist right there. So we're gonna go with that. I love on all these like set pieces too, they have like these trunks with like old costumes that are flowing out of it because Cindy is just pulling everything out of the Oddfellow portals back from years and years ago. These were worn by somebody at some point. This Undoubtedly Dead stage is my personal favorite stage that's here. But I'm not noticing like too much new versus the other day. Another little stage that's popped up. This is gonna be a zone that's really, really good in terms of like scare actor hiding spots. There's so many places that they can kind of hide behind, pop out, get you when you're least expecting it.
Before we head into the Five and Dime, here's the announcement about the Ozzy Osbourne house. It says, "Let the madness begin. A haunted house inspired by the twisted mind of Ozzy Osbourne is coming to Universal Orlando Halloween Horror Nights. Scream through a decaying world where music and mayhem collide."
All right, so we just popped into the Five and Dime, and here's a look at the Ozzy Osbourne shirt that's come out. Pretty cool design on it. It just looks like a standard band tee, and there's nothing on it at all that says Halloween Horror Nights. So yeah, I mean, this is like a shirt you would be able to find in any rock shop. I just wish it had some sort of like an HHN tie-in to it. We have a new acrylic diorama piece. This was actually leaked on TikTok. They put this out early over in Universal Hollywood, and people were trying to figure out, like, is it real, is it not? Well, it turns out it's real. It's the exact same design. This is gonna be $15. So what's your thoughts on the Ozzy announcement?
So I'm excited for the house because I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with it. I'm not like a huge Ozzy Osbourne fan, but I know like his music, and like he's like the Prince of Darkness, so I don't know how scary it's gonna be, but I am excited to see what they're gonna do with it.
Will they have the moment where he bites off the bat's head?
I mean, he's gonna have.
They have to, right? That's got to be like
that's
the
like
final
most,
scene or something.
That's like the most iconic thing, so it has to be in there.
Same with me. I love Ozzy Osbourne's music, but I don't know enough of like the backstory and the lore of Ozzy Osbourne to say like whether or not I'm gonna be super excited for this house. I think there's a lot of like diehard Ozzy fans that are gonna be stoked for this. And for those people, I'm really excited. I am kind of viewing this, and I think this is gonna be a good thing, even if you don't really like Ozzy Osbourne, because like you're going off of his music catalog and probably moments from some music videos and iconic other moments that have happened in his life. The team is gonna have the opportunity to kind of craft what's almost an original house just with Ozzy Osbourne influence. And I'm really excited about that because the original houses are my favorite houses at HHN. I'm definitely team originals. So if we're gonna get like the HHN creative team kind of doing their own thing within the world of Ozzy Osbourne, I think that's gonna be really, really awesome. And like I said, there's gonna be a lot of people that are super excited about this. It was the worst kept secret. You had the leak that was on Pandora and Spotify the other week. Then they put out the carousel pieces too early in Hollywood the other day. So it was the worst kept secret, but it is official. Ozzy's coming, and we now have all 10 houses. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. What do you think about Ozzy Osbourne coming to the event? Are you excited for it? And what do you think about this year's lineup overall? By the way, if you guys haven't seen the Odyssey, 10 out of 10, make sure you go see it. Now the horse that's over in Universal Hollywood that's on display, they have a sign next to that one that says that it was screen used. I don't see anything over here that says this is like actually from the movie, but the one that's over in Hollywood was used in the actual film. So obviously Central Park's gonna be home to the Lagoon show. We have a brand new truss structure that's popped up over here. I'm assuming this is just gonna have like the sign for the Stranger Things Lagoon show. Normally they kind of have it somewhere over here. They'll have like a random piece of truss that pops up. I guess they can't do that with the Odyssey horse, so maybe this is gonna be staying through the month of August. All right, so let's head into what's gonna be the Fort Nightmare scare zone. Don't know how new these are. They're new to me, because I don't really look in the bushes too much when we come over here. But there's fans. Obviously this is for like the lighting effects and the fog machines. First time I'm noticing fans like on the left-hand side when you walk in, but they may have been here. Yeah, and honestly, not too much going on over here. They had that same like little shed set piece that was there the other day when the day after they announced the scare zone. This one that we showed in our last update video, but nothing else new. It looks exactly the same. Same thing over here too with this area by animal actors. Still no updates on this little stage. It looks exactly the same. I thought they would have moved like a little bit quicker on this once they announced what it was, but so far it's just status quo for Fort Nightmare. And back over by animal actors, they took out all the tables and chairs over here, which means they get ready for the food booths to pop up. So nothing really happening in the Fort Nightmare scare zone yet, but there are some updates I want to share now from that HHN like UK media event, panel, whatever you want to call it, that took place like a week or two ago at this point. So let's take a look at what they put out there. We're gonna see some looks into the houses, some of the costumes. So if you want to stay like completely spoiler free, you should probably skip ahead a little bit. So this event was hosted by Laura Sauls, who's one of the leads on the creative team, and thanks to Darren Scott over on Twitter, we got some first looks at what's coming inside the houses themselves. We're going to start with invasion, alien abduction, and the image that's on your screen. Those two pictures of the rooms are actually from the house themselves. So you can see like a destroyed bedroom. You can see a kitchen scene for when the aliens actually came down and tried to take the family. And then those three creatures in the middle are the character designs for what we're going to see in the house. And Laura specifically said that they get bigger as the house goes on. Next up is Madland's Caged Cannibals. And that image on the left with the word zoo, that is going to be the house facade. So that is what we're going to be walking into when we go into that house. The images on the right-hand side are also from inside the house. And then there's a first look at what some of these creatures are going to look like. Next is HR Blood and Guts presents a Halloween Fright-tacular. And right there in the middle, you can see the man himself, HR Blood and Guts. A couple of the other characters we can expect to see in the house as well. And then just like the other two photos, images of inside the house themselves. So you can see like a monster tiki bar. And then Laura did say on the bottom left-hand side that the Pumpkin Lord has his own film inside this house, and we are going to see the Pumpkin Lord. So will we see him like in full character form? Will he just be on a screen? Still TBD, but she did mention we are going to see the Pumpkin Lord inside of this house. If you remember the interview that Ramon did a few weeks back, he did say that HR Blood and Guts' costume is going to be a blend between his original costume and like him breaking out of a prison. And I feel like this represents that pretty well. Next is my most anticipated house, Jack and Oddfellow, Chaos and Control. That image on the left-hand side, we did see at the MegaCon panel, so that's not anything new, but we have a new image of Jack, who's kind of been ripped up. You can see his costume has been sliced up, and even his head, it kind of has like a crack in it from Dr. Oddfellow trying to pull him apart. And then we have our first look at some real deal images from inside of the house. Next, we move to some of the IPs, and we have Hellraiser. And these are really, really clear lights on images of the inside of the house. You can see we are going to step directly into the box. It's being held open by the chains. I mean, this looks like it's straight out of the movie. It's crazy. And then you can see all the masks for the Cenobites. So there was a lot of people asking if Pinhead is going to be masked or if he's going to be makeup. It looks like from this image, it's going to be a mask. And we'll see, maybe there's a makeup version out there somewhere in the house. But it looks like all of the Cenobites are going to be masks. Sinners is one of the most anticipated houses of the year. We can see on the bottom left-hand side the facade for Club Juke. So we are going to be stepping directly into the club, just like we all thought we would. And then there's a look at some of the makeup designs that we're going to see in this house. And it looks absolutely fantastic. Evil Dead Burn, we didn't get a whole lot of like in-house images from this part of the show, but we did get a couple looks at some of the creatures themselves. You can see them on the left and the right. And then we also have, I forget her name, but she's from Evil Dead Rise. And Laura did say that that head that's right there is what's going to be welcoming you into the house. And the head is fully animatronic, and she's going to be speaking to you. So that's going to be really, really cool to see. Of course, Fort Nightmares with all the debates is coming. And here's a look at what some of the characters are going to look like. You have Peely, which is the banana. It looks like he's a half banana, half skeleton. We have, I don't know these characters' names, so forgive me for that. But that one in the middle that kind of looks like a tomato and a bear kind of blended together, that's a real mask that's on, a working desk over at Universal. So that looks absolutely fantastic, even though I don't know anything about the characters. And then you have this cool little pumpkin guy as well. And then speaking of Fortnite, Laura did share some like blueprint images of the bus. Now, this is a big part of the games, and they are going to be bringing a full-size like Fortnite bus to life inside the scare zone. Another original is Cybergoria, and we didn't really get much in terms of inside of the house images, but we did get a first look at the characters themselves, and these guys look absolutely awesome. Laura also did say it's going to smell like iron and metal in there, so it's definitely going to be a house that's heavy on the smells. There's no doubt about that, but the characters look really, really cool. And the last IP, Stranger Things 5. She said that this is the biggest version of a Stranger Things house that they've done so far. in terms of scale and feeling like you stepped into the show. On the left-hand side, you can see kind of the design for one of the rooms and the way that the scare is going to take place. And then we have a first look at the updated Vecna mold for the mask, and I think this looked great. I mean, just from this mold alone, it looks better than the previous version of Vecna that we saw, and the Demogorgon themselves looks absolutely fantastic. So while it's a lot of fun to like look at the scare zone progress, check up on the house facades and all that stuff, another thing that's really exciting is when the food booths start to pop up, and there's already a handful that have started. One of them is right over my shoulder over here, and it's going to be the Stranger Things food booth. And there it is, WSQK, the Squawk. So the Stranger Things food booth is not going to be over in New York like it was the last time I was here at the event. It's right on the bridge going into Springfield. So as you're leaving Diagon Alley, when you're coming over that bridge, in that same area where the Jason booth was last year, they've added all the vines going all over the place. And that's just one of the things I love about these food booths, is they could easily just have like a little sticker, a sign that pops up, but they completely like transform these things into like works of art. Like you have the actual WSQK Squawk, the sign, 50,000 watts. I'm guaranteeing you this is gonna light up once the event starts. But yeah, they have all the vines, the blue and the purples, kind of like the upside down. This looks great. Just across from the Stranger Things food booth is gonna be Meats. This is an HHN throwback. You got the little mascot up on top, the classic Meats logo, and then this has like a brick finish on the bottom. You got some white tile work. There is some like blood marks that's kind of splattered all over here. You got a handprint up at the top. So yeah, Meats. The last time we saw Meats at the event, if you remember a couple of years ago, they had that booth over in Sting Alley in New York. They sold like the brains, but it was like a Rice Krispie treat. That was kind of the last reference we saw to Meats. But this is from a house back in the day. Just in case you don't know, because I like to give you guys the backstory of some of the things if you're a newer HHN fan. Meats is from a couple of different houses. The most recent time that we saw it was Welcome to Scary Horror in the Heartland. Before that, where we first saw it was in 2009 at Leave It to Cleaver. Without giving you like the entire rundown of it, we could spend all day talking about HHN lore. It's a meat factory that's located in Cary, Ohio. And Meats is just a meat factory that obviously wasn't making normal meat. It was just body parts and gross stuff. And like I said, the last time we saw it was, I believe, in 2022 when they had that little booth in New York, and the food that they did there was really interesting. So I'm curious if they're gonna bring back some of those like exact items from HHN 2022. We'll just have to wait and see, but it's right here where Jason was last year. Here we go, we're heading into downtown Clown Town.
Yeah, when we were here in the last video, remember you guys saw me like trying to see what the sign said under there? Now we know.
We're over in New York, which is gonna be downtown Clown Town. We can finally see what the whole sign looks like. And something that I am noticing, notice this over in the Hollywood Scare Zone as well, is there's a lot of this swirl. You could see the little swirl for the O. That's just to kind of represent like Oddfellow and the portal opening up. But I've noticed that in a lot of different places. We have a brand new stage that's popped up just in front of Rosie's, the Irish shop, or what used to be the Irish shop. They have this massive stage over here. So they have the huge stage that's over by where the tribute store is gonna be. This one is really big too. Like for just a regular Scare Zone stage, obviously we're gonna have another like little show element that's going on over here, but very, very carnival-like. You can see the 35 logo up at the top over there. This looks awesome. Look at this, there's a poster on the side of this thing. It says, Dr. Oddfellow's Grand Carnival presents Chaos and Control, a tale of two icons. And you could see Jack and Oddfellow being controlled by like the puppet master over there. Now, obviously, Chaos and Control is the name of the house that they're gonna be doing, but I wonder if there's gonna be like a little Jack and like Oddfellow like show moment that happens over here in this Scare Zone. So when we were here the other day, this Oddfellow caravan was right over here. They've now moved it across the street in front of the arcade. Still no stickers. I think they did come back like maybe on Friday, and now they're gone again. So I don't know what's going on with this. They might just have to leave this as it is. Oh yeah, we got another stage. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm really, really excited for this Scare Zone. So they have another stage that's popped up in front of the Mummy queue. And I can't really figure out like what this is per se, but it looks cool. It's got red polka dots on the floor. Got like red and yellow distressing over here. Let's see if there's anything on the back. Nope. Nothing on the back, just to give you a sense of what's going on. So we have that stage I just showed you over by the Mummy, If we turn to the right down the street, there's the Oddfellow Caravan, and then there's that other stage. So we have like 3 big pieces that are kind of lining the streets on this side. And then as we move closer to the tribute store, obviously we got that big massive stage. Here's a look at the current state of that massive stage. So when we were here on Thursday, this was just kind of like the frames of these tents, and I thought they were just gonna be just like decayed tents, but you can see they've added them to make them look like real actual tents. They still have like some dusty and crustiness going on with them, but they are gonna like open and close. So like something's probably gonna be coming out of those. You have this one over here that's blue on the left-hand side, and then on the right-hand side, you have this red and yellow one. And to me, I don't really know. Some people were saying killer clowns. I don't think it's gonna be killer clowns because this really has nothing to do with killer clowns. But I think this is just gonna be like the real life incarnation of those tents that we saw in all the announcement videos. Like when you would go into the tent and then they would make that house announcement. That's what I think these are kind of like representing, but we'll see. And we have a big update on the tribute store facade. All this over here to the left looks exactly the same, but now we have this giant, scary looking clown that's been placed off to the right. And there's a little message in his mouth. He says, "Here's a secret." So what's the secret? Are we gonna find out what the secret is once we go inside the tribute store? Obviously, we don't know what the inside of it's gonna look like. We don't know what the finished outside is gonna look like. But so far, this is what a tribute store is supposed to be. So thank you, Universal, for listening to all of us and giving us a proper tribute store this year. Obviously, there's still so much more they need to do over here, but this alone is super cool. The last video, we kind of thought somebody was gonna be up here on the stage. Well, now that's definitely happening because we have our first scare actor trigger pedal sighting of construction season. There it is. Still over here in New York, we popped over by this mystery stage, and the one new addition is we got like a body part or a body of some sorts that's hanging over here. The other day, this was just kind of fully closed off. Today was a little windy, so it looks like the wind kind of blew some of this open. And I don't think this is like ready to go just yet. You can see like, what even is that? Like, it looks like it's just like a foam figure. So obviously they'll kind of dress him up, make him look a little bit more gross than he actually is. But yeah, we got the first little body sighting.
So we have some of the first food booths pop up over here in like the alley of New York. So Oddfellow's Menagerie and then Jack's Circus Surplus. And on the side of Jack's it says BuzzCon.
I did notice that too, yeah.
But I like the food is like one of my favorite parts of HHN. I love seeing like how creative they get with everything every year. And I love trying all the foods, so I'm excited to see what they're gonna offer here. And there's definitely gonna be more food booths that like pop up over the next few weeks.
Yeah, and like obviously we love seeing all the props and like all the set pieces, but seeing the food booths is so exciting, and then waiting for the menus is even all like more exciting. So like that'll be coming in the next few weeks.
They put so much detail into the food booths too, so it's like just as exciting to see these as the props, because look at all like the detail. They even added hay here. Like it's just, it's really cool what they do with them.
I thought we were done with food booths, but there's another 2 that have popped up in New York. Right in front of the Transformers bar, we have another 2 food booths. This one's gonna be Dr. Oddfellow. If you look at the top of his head over there, you can see the symbol for Oddfellow. That's real creepy. We're zoomed into his eyes right there. But yeah, just look at all the detail work that they put into this one. You can see the eyes. All of this part, like this silver piece, is all hand painted. It looks like the rest of it is pretty much hand painted as well, like all the flames and whatnot. But this looks really cool. So you got Oddfellow, there's his mustache. And then just next to Oddfellow, there's another food booth over here. And honestly, I don't really know which one this is for. Like, what does this have ties to? We got this guy over here. He's holding, or not holding, but he's in front of like a little Target. So I'm not sure what this food booth is supposed to be, what it's supposed to be themed to. If you guys know and I'm just like missing something that's right in front of my face, let me know down in the comments below. Another little update has nothing to do with in-park stuff, but if you were planning on going to Premium Scream Night, there's 2 nights this year, as you probably know by now. The first night is completely sold out, so you will no longer be able to buy tickets for that event night in August. If you do still want to go to Premium Scream, I recommend buying those tickets as soon as possible for that night in October, because the more time that passes, one, the higher likelihood that it's going to sell out, which it will at some point. And then 2, they keep increasing the ticket prices. By the time the August date sold out, it was like well over $400. So if you want to go, it's kind of your last chance now. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for this week's HHN update. So much is going on. We have all 10 houses. Ozzy Osbourne is finally been announced, which is exciting because the leaks just kept on coming for that one. So the lineup is set. Let me know what you think down in the comments below about this year's HHN 35 lineup, what you think about all the construction updates that we've seen so far. And this has been the biggest video that we've done to date, but there's gonna be bigger ones to come. Then before you know it, it's now August. HHN is happening this month, and we'll be at Premium Scream. We'll be there opening weekend, and we're gonna have a ton of HHN content for you guys. So if you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you do that down below and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of our future HHN videos to come. If you enjoyed this one and you found it helpful, make sure you give it a nice big thumbs up. It always helps out the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.